Hey folks, it's Dave here. Welcome to another edition of the Digital to Dice video log. And today I'm out walking my dog. If you can see him walking down the street here, that's mouth number one. I gotta take him out to cool his jets, get him some exercise, so to speak. But anyway, today I want to talk about variety in cards and dice games. Again, I'm fairly new to this. I've only been doing it a few months, and I would think already I have 13 hockey games. Just hockey games. Everything from the free stuff to the paid stuff, from the quick play to the longer style games, the games that are going to take you over an hour to play one game. Got a little bit of everything, and that's just hockey. And Jeebus, I haven't even got into baseball, and I got to think there's got to be 60 or 70, maybe more baseball games out there, of all kinds of variety. So the one thing that just struck me about this whole cards and dice thing is how many games there are. So I'm going to talk about that in 1 second. But first, this message, Wednesday night on the Retro Sports Network channel here on YouTube, we're going to be setting up around 7:30, and we are going to record the Digital to Dice podcast live on his channel. So we'll be live at 7:30, setting things up, getting the chat room, getting your questions for the show, and then around 8 o'clock we're going to fire it up live on Spreaker. That's where we host the podcast, on Spreaker.com. Look for the Digital to Dice podcast on Spreaker, digitaltodice.com, if you will. That's a quick link there. So we'll be live on Spreaker. That has a chat room. And at the same time, we'll be simulcasting on YouTube on the Retro Sports Network channel, and that chat room will be open as well. So we're going to record a full show, probably about a half hour or so, 45 minutes tops. I think that's as long as my plan will allow us to go on Spreaker live. And we'll just do a normal show, but we'll be chatting in the chat room, answering your questions and the whole bit. And so it'll be our first live endeavor. So that is scheduled for this Wednesday night, which I believe is August 7th. Oh, there's the dog right there. I know, I see him. Hang on a sec. Gotta keep the dogs separated, That's the fun part about dog walks. So yeah, so that's this Wednesday night. So mark your calendar if you want to see us record the show live, and join us in the chat room and just kind of see how it all works, so to speak, how we do the Digital to Dice podcast. But anyway, getting back to the video show here, variety of games. Yeah, as mentioned, I'm just the hockey guy, and I found so many hockey games, everything from the one roll quick play stuff to the hour and a half marathons on the tabletop, and everything in between. Boy, it's really kind of fun. I mean, you guys have probably been playing this, especially the guys who've been playing this for many years. You don't have any idea how cool it is, how many different games there are out there. There are so many games, and they all do different things. And I've heard some people say, well, that's too many games, and there's too many of that. Well, you can never have too many games. Even the ones that you would consider yucky games, so to speak, they do something that's fun. And I've played a couple of yucky games, and I just don't go back to them. I'm like, okay. But I found so many that are so fun, and depends what you're in the mood for. Sometimes it's like, I just want to play at a playoff series, and I want to just roll a couple of dice and see how it pans out. And I could do that in an afternoon. Or, hey, I want to play, a little bit deeper game, like maybe a game-winning drive football game or something like that, where, it takes a few minutes to set up and you can play a game. But I think it took me 22 minutes to play one of those games. So you might play a couple of games in the afternoon or something like that. And or you can play like last night I did the fast action football game, and I was doing different things, and I was watching my friends on YouTube, and then I ate dinner, and it took me I want to say 3 to 4 hours, but that was constantly stopping. But that was a bigger game for me. It's a play-by-play game rather than drive-by-drive or just a one roll. But I was in the mood for a long game, and I played and then ate dinner, and then I think I stopped and walked the dog. But truth be told, it was an all-day affair getting back to this game. But that's what I was in the mood for, and so I think it's fantastic that you have the option to do a quick roll or play something mid-range, or go full hour and a half, 2 hours for a big long game, or maybe even a whole afternoon. So variety is really something I wasn't expecting when I started playing cards and dice. Not that I knew what I was expecting, because I've only been, like I said, checking the dice for a few months, admittedly, and I just had no idea how many games there were. And one of my neighbors here, I have to wave while I'm walking the dog. So I had no idea how many games there were, and I think it's really cool. And they're still coming out with new ones. And sometimes it's just, a one-person venture. Sometimes it's a smaller company. Sometimes you gotta, buy the board and the tabletop. Sometimes you just download the PDF. And hi there. Another dog on a dog walk. Everyone's walking their dog today. Oh, spin around again. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to some of the new games coming out to try. And what's really cool too is some of these companies now are giving you different ways to play. Okay, for example, the Play.com. Okay, let's talk about them for 1 second. They got that football game, and they just introduced a quick play version of that. Where, I don't want to call it quick play, but it's a quicker version of their game. Their games tend to be longer games, and you play on the tabletop, but they just introduced a mode that you could play it a lot faster. And boy, I'm all over that, because that's where I am right now. I was into all the quick play games. As you know, some of the videos on my channel have all been quick play games. Now I'm into the medium games, and that's where this football game falls into, this new quicker mode for the Play.com games. The guy showed it off. It's more of a, I don't know if it's play-by-play or drive-by-drive or some kind of a hybrid version of that, but it's not the full, hour and a half game. It's something a little quicker, but you still get the feel of the game. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I like that variety. So as long as we're talking variety, I like that. I like the idea that, companies, the bigger companies, hang on. Sorry about that. I got a tracker going on right now, and it just said, "Oh, you just walked a mile." So I don't know if that cut in on the audio or not. But what I was getting at was, Strat and ABBA. They have many ways you can play. You can just play some, easy mode, basic mode, or advanced mode, or super advanced, or whatever they're called. And I like that. I like the fact that if there's a game that's too complicated, well, they give you an easy way to play. And then from there, you can choose, hey, I want to get a little busier. I want to get a little crazy. I want to get more advanced, I like, the basic. The basic's kind of fun, but now I want to go and, add some depth to the game. Even, all-star lineup baseball, we interviewed Craig Wessel, and he was talking about how even in his game, he has I guess what you call the basic mode and then an advanced mode. And so basic mode gets you up to speed, and then if you want, you can introduce some of these other wrinkles, some of these other options into the game. And again, variety. And that's one thing that I found, and I just wanted to talk about today, that kind of tickled my fancy today as I spin around. I don't know why my dog, he likes to go around me. And I got the leash all tied up like this unless I do a full 360. That's what he does. I don't get him. There he is right there again. He's just crazy. We call him mouth number one because he's always barking. But yeah, so variety in cards and dice games. I'm really enjoying it. And I think some of the people that have been playing it for a long time are kind of taking it for granted a little bit, because you guys have no idea how fun it is discovering new games, and how many times I've been to that sportsreplays.net site. Hundreds of times I've gone there, and sometimes I'm going just for a sorry about that. We had a car. There's a car right there. I had a car come by, so I had to jump out of the way. Second car. Oh, and a little dog in the car too. Oh, he didn't see my dog. Woo-hoo, that's lucky. But I don't know how many times I've gone to that website, and sometimes I'm going just, to see if there's any new football fields or rinks or anything like that. And other times I go and download a game, but holy cow, you go there and you're like, boy, never saw this game before. Or someone tells you, hey, I go to this site and go to this page and then look for this. Well, there's another game tucked in the corner over here. So Sorry about that. There's that website there. I found so many games just at that website, and just keep talking variety and all the different games you can play and find, and pretty impressive. It seems like every day, almost every day or every other day, I stumble on a new game. And just the other day, I was on Facebook and I go, "What is this?" And something was recommended, and there was another smaller company that sold games. They had, I think, hockey and baseball, and I don't know if it was football or tennis they had. But I was like, well, there's more games I got to check out. So there's more variety, more things to choose from. And that's probably the reason why I haven't gone back to video game playing yet, because I'm not done discovering all these cards and dice games. Really, it's really kind of cool. And I keep saying it, and I just kind of repeat myself now. But this just struck me last night when I was playing that fast action football game. That it's like, wow, that took me all afternoon to finish. You know, because I was doing other things. But I'm going to go back today. I'm going to play a quick play game, and then I might go play a medium game, and then I'm going to start looking at some other things there. And there's just like, man, I go left, I go right, I go up, and I go down. There's just more games to find, more games to play. Sometimes you can download a demo. In fact, I even got a horse racing game. Yeah, there was a guy on Sports Replays, and I contacted him, and he's like, he goes, "I'll just send it to you." He goes, "I don't really sell it anymore, so I got a horse racing game. So I got to print it out and figure out how to play his horse racing game." Although that could be a good retro sports network type game. Send him the $10, say, "I want you to do some horse racing for me." That's what I might do. Maybe I'll have him play those games instead. That'd be a good project for him. What do you guys think? But all kidding aside, I have horse racing. There was another game I got too. I don't know if it was a tennis game or whatever, but all these games, and sometimes you can get the free demo on a game and the whole bit. And there's some games. There was one baseball game, baseball scoreboard, I think it was called, and you roll like 9 dice or something like that. And every dice does something different, and my head was kind of spinning. I was trying to figure out this game. It's like, okay, if this dice is this, then it's, they score a run. If not, then it's this, and this tells you how many balls, based on balls, and this is how many strikes. It's like, wow, it's that was a very different game. So it was a quick play game, but there was, I think you rolled 7 or 8 dice, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to really sit down and figure this one out. But again, that's just that's how they designed that game, and I think that's fantastic that there's a game that's like that. That was very different than some of these other games. There's people now coming up with different modes, because I think that some games were designed to be solitaire, and they're including multiplayer, and some games are multiplayer, and now they're incorporating single player or solitaire ways of playing. Here's the dog spinning around again. I don't get him. And that's kind of cool too, because for myself, I'm a single player guy. I play solitaire all the time. I just don't have anybody close by to play a game with me. And the wife's not going to sit and play a football or a hockey game with me for an hour and a half. So I need to have that solitaire or single player experience going on, and they're adding that. They really are. In fact, there's a lot of games that I've been reading the instructions on. It's like, well, if you want to play solo, here's a couple of ways you can do that, and if you want to play head to head, well, here's how you would do that. And so it's the best of both worlds. And I think a lot of these cards and dice games that are coming out nowadays, they're trying to check all the boxes. They're trying to get the solo play, they're trying to get the multiplayer, the head to head, so to speak. They're trying to offer the different ways to play it, the easy, medium, large, call it the 3 bears, if you will. And those are the games that I'm enjoying the most, the ones that have a lot of options, the ones that I can play alone. The ones that I can start with basic and move up. Because sometimes you just want to play a quick game so you can play the basic game. and then other times you want to get a little bit deeper. So anyway, so let me just wrap this up as I'm heading down the home stretch here from my walk. But just want to talk a little bit about variety today, and I know it's kind of all over the place, but it's a good thing. Variety is a good thing. Having different games to play is a good thing. Different modes is a good thing. And I hope that's the way they keep going, because it's been a lot of fun discovering these games. So anyway, I'm Dave. Hope to see you guys Wednesday night. This has been episode 4 of Digital to Dice, the video logs. Bye-bye.